To the Point brought to you from inside the Ram studio. Ram setting a new standard, innovative, capable, luxurious, ranked #1 in a new vehicle quality by J.D. Power. And it's 2-0 Maple Leafs. Worth mentioning as you come back into the studios, Elliot, Kelly, and Jennifer. Ron's out under COVID protocol, but he will be back for Rogers Hometown Hockey on Monday, which is great news. Good news for the Maple Leafs there. They had their most lopsided loss 2 nights ago, 48 hours ago, in Tampa, 8-1. Very different Leafs team here in the first.
No surprise. You knew they're going to have a good start. You know, you can't take your foot off the gas with Florida, but nonetheless, this is exactly what they wanted to do. And I thought they'd be a lot better defensively, but it's the first goal of the game. What a great play by TJ Brodie. Just fired it off the end boards, and Marner skates into it. That, of course, should have been stopped, but nonetheless, that's just a really smart play. We don't see this very often anymore, that play from Brodie or any defenseman recognizing, just throw it off the end boards. This was a play that was really made popular in the 80s, and in fact, you guys might not remember this, but Wayne Gretzky might have been the best at that play, even though we all remember him for all these fancy passes. He was terrific at that play.
You know who else was really good at it?
Yes.
Guy Lafleur.
Yes, he
1976, the New Year's Eve game, twice.
That's right, exactly. It's a really clever play, and defensively, you don't think about it as often anymore.
Sedin's used to do it as well, right? Usually to each other.
Yeah.
And another reason for the Leafs' improved play might be the return of Austin Matthews. So, of course, they're not going to dwell on that result against Tampa Bay, but with Matthews back in the line, was there any doubt that he was going to take very long to find his rhythm? And early in the game, just demonstrating, he commands respect with the puck. He just finds a little seam and opens up the space to make the play. And this is what he's shown all season long, just that high level of confidence and dominance with the puck. Finding the option, who's the shooter in the slot, to make sure he finds that option. This play was excellent to demonstrate the completeness of his game, where he starts in the defensive zone, makes a tricky backhand pass across the zone, stays with the puck, engaged in the play, gets a quality scoring chance, and the deflection at the far end of the ice. Driving to the net, looking to make the move on Bobrovsky, who's made a few good saves. But in case there was any doubt, another nice pass here, nice little clever delay, and a beautiful pass over to Marner. So no doubt it didn't take him very long to find his rhythm again.
Yeah.
You know, like every Canadian team, it's 82 one-game referendums for the Maple Leafs. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about the bounce back after what happened the other night. I don't freak out about one game. They beat Tampa 6-2 a couple weeks ago, the same as I wouldn't freak out about that game if I was Tampa. I would say this. If I was any team in the Eastern Conference, Tampa's the last team I want to see in the first round. I know there's people out there who think they're vulnerable. I know there's people out there who think they look tired. But Vasilevsky is the best player in the league in the playoffs, and I think if the Lightning do play the Maple Leafs, Stamkos will have 4 games in Toronto, and I think those players are going to be wired to play for him.
I agree with their goaltender. I am a little bit worried about their inconsistency lately. Like they just haven't been on a real run. And I know that Cooper talked about it about a month and a half ago, that it was a concern. I totally agree with you with what they could potentially do because they are that good, but I am concerned about just not being at that level on a regular basis.
You also get the sense, though, this is a team, obviously, that knows what it takes to be successful. And if there's an element of them waiting to peak and to bring their best when the playoffs come around, you just get a little bit of that sense with this team.
And the Leafs are waiting to find out who their first-round matchup will be against. Boston won, by the way, this afternoon, so they're just 1 point behind Tampa now for that coveted third spot. Meanwhile, it's worth mentioning Michael Bunting, what a great rookie season. The reason you've only seen him for 2 minutes and 43 seconds on the ice, took that puck to the face. He also took a bit of a spill there, so we'll wait to hear and see what happens for him moving towards the second period. It's worth noting as well, the Leafs did have a 5-1 lead in Florida not too long ago, so we'll see if they can remember those demons and exercise them.
Don't bring up the bad, David.
Well, you just got to get
I told him to remain optimistic, David.
Dave is very negative. Right? Usually the most negative member of this crew.
I hear that a lot. The Hart conversation. This is a great conversation worth having. If you missed it last night, Connor McDavid, another superlative performance, 3 points. He leads the league in points. He's in the conversation. Huberdeau and Matthews head-to-head tonight. Johnny Gaudreau later tonight. Yeah. Who's going to win this thing? Like, give us a thought here on the most coveted piece of hardware next to the Stanley Cup.
I am going with Matthews, even though I think McDavid is the best player in the game. The season that Matthews has had, 58 goals. Jen, at the beginning of the broadcast, you talked about his defensive play. That has really been evident for, the last 3 years, and I'm sticking with Matthews right now.
Well, it's a nice conversation to have. You look at all of these guys and outstanding performances and what they've meant to the team. You look at Matthews, right? He has 23 more goals than anybody else on the Leafs and what he's brought in terms of that total game. There is that argument, obviously, for McDavid. And you look at not only the points factor, but how well Edmonton has played over the course of the last month and a half. I mean, since March 8th, they're 16-3-2. McDavid has 6 game-winning goals in terms of making those clutch plays. I mean, special performances, but I still think those two are the top of the list.
In an unrelated story, Kelly's off the Flames broadcast. But, well, you know, there's 4 guys at the top of my list, and in no particular order. It's Matthews, it's Gaudreau, it's McDavid, and it's Josi.
We need an order.
No, because I'm gonna, and like some people have said, like Matthews being out costs on the Hart. I think that is ridiculous.
So let me hold on. Let me throw out something though. We saw McDavid there at the top points. If Huberdeau suddenly wins the Art Ross, does that change your complexion? If Johnny Gaudreau goes on a crazy run this week and he wins the Art Ross, does that change the complexion?
No, for me it doesn't. The thing that tips the scales for me in Gaudreau's favor is his even strength points. Like hockey is a game that is meant to be won at even
incredible,
strength.
Right?
And I think that's what it is.
And his defensive play also this year. Everybody's raving about it, that his defensive play has never been this strong. So he is in the running. But.
Just a quick thought, on Josi, right? To be in contention for both the Hart and the Norris. I mean, they were saying since Ray Bourque was the last one, have 90 points. He's at 89 right now, and to be so strong and sound defensively. An outstanding year by him.
Jeff Merrick's throwing stuff at his television right now in Chicago because we didn't mention Igor Shesterkin, who's also in the conversation. For all you goalie guys out there, Kelly, there you go. All right.